Full Coverage, your favorite podcast.
Gabriel's like, that's...
Excuse me?
Gabriel's like, wait a minute.
That's our slogan, Gabriel.
The
Let us have
disrespect
it.
from the beginning.
We're starting out on a great note.
I'm so dead.
Well, that's how we want to introduce Gabriel.
And we are here with a special guest, Mr. Gabriel Zamora.
Zamora, the one and only Gabby Zamora.
Hi, everyone.
The Gabriel Zamora.
The Gabriel
The
Zamora.
Gabriel Zamora.
Brows galore.
Brows galore. Oh, yeah. Like you guys.
Oh my God.
The brow.
The
This is the
brow
ooze and the
reveal.
Oz moment.
Oh. As if I haven't seen them so many times since you got the surgery.
I'm addicted
I love
to
to
his
show him off,
brows.
too.
I'm
I'm
like,
like-
I need to know. I've like 21 questioned him. Like, I need to know all the information. It's fascinating.
My favorite part's that it's become a personality trait.
It always was. Before it was, I had no eyebrows, and now I have. Now the cup runneth over in eyebrow.
There's no in between.
No in between. It's
no in
just
between.
that was my thing before, none, and now it's too much.
Okay, wait.
I love it.
Before we jump in, I kind of want you to explain your brows because honestly, guys, Gabriel has like gone viral multiple times specifically for his eyebrows. So we want to explain like why.
Agreed.
So I'm Gabriel Zamora, and I'm addicted to plastic surgery. That's what this
TLC.
episode is
And the
all
nip tuck
about.
is going on right now.
TLC.
I'm here to sell you guys on it.
I'm like sold.
Yeah.
Bring in the doctor. Full consultation on the podcast.
La, la, yeah.
By the end, we're like
We're
material
still
girls. Okay,
Material girls.
We are material girls.
No, we are.
So I love getting like modifications, little things here and there, like usually like filler and Botox.
Yeah.
And I grew up with kind of like no brows.
Yeah.
It's just genetics. My
We
grandma.
remember-
Yeah.
You
We
with no
remember
brows.
pre.
Yeah. Like I feel like
Pre-op, we remember.
like BB and then like before brows and then like after
Oh.
brows. Like
It's
very
like
like with
BC.
Christ.
It's a time.
Yes,
got
very,
it.
very tied with the religion as well.
It's a spiritual journey.
It's a spiritual journey.
Yes.
Because honestly, like I just grew up with no eyebrows.
Yeah.
Like I just grew up with them.
Genetics, you were saying?
Genetics. My grandma has no eyebrows. My mom has like no eyebrows. Well, not like that. We don't have none. It's just like
A couple
barely
sparse
anything.
hairs.
Yeah.
Thin.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, like I really don't be having eyebrows. But I have like, so I have a stepdad, but that's my dad. So I have like my siblings have like a different dad. So they have like different brows. And I'm like, why the fuck am I
Wow.
the only bald bitch in this family? Like, excuse me? So I was like,
Wow.
okay, over the years, I was like, it just, I feel like they started to get thinner and thinner, and it
Yeah.
just became a big insecurity of mine.
Yeah.
It became my gateway into makeup. So I'm not like, I don't hate me not having brows because I feel like I have the career that I have today because I didn't have eyebrows.
Right.
But I knew I wanted brows.
Yeah.
Like just seeing people with eyebrows, I was just like,
Yeah.
You're like, what
everybody
about
has
me?
eyebrows.
I would feel the
Like,
same way. I would
Like,
feel the same
wow,
way.
I feel like I'm missing out on
and then
something.
brows like kind of like became like the trend where
Yeah.
like you had to have the
They
big
shape your
brow.
face. They shape your whole face.
Yeah.
Like,
And
your
I remember
expression.
all the different brows that I would draw on. Like the super pointy one, the thin one, the long
The
ones,
Pamela
the short
Anderson?
ones.
Yes, the
The
hair
fluffy
light.
brow.
Fluffy. Like I remember when I would make them real fluffy, you're like, damn, you got brows. And I was
Yeah.
like, that's what I want. That,
Yeah.
Like that's what the reaction I want. So then I ended up getting plastic surgery where I got a hair transplant from the back of my head. Oh, Manny, you know this.
I do. I know it well. I know it a lot. I'm also a surge queen.
Period.
I love.
I feel like I have
we
two
literally
more things than you.
I think you need
We're
two
that close.
more.
I just need to leave at this point. I would do all the things.
No,
I
Laura,
want.
what
I'm just not brave. I'm just not brave.
No, I love it. I'm all about like if you want to change something, change it.
Yeah.
As long as you want to change it for you, like change it for your
Yes.
reasons. 100%.
Because I feel like I'm at the point where I understand that my value comes from my mind and who I
Yes.
am as a person. And this vessel is like a ride.
Yeah.
And you can take care of it very well and it'll get you to the very end and a smooth ride, or you can get up along the way and
Yeah.
it'll be a rough ride.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I take care of my body.
Yeah.
But I like to do little upgrades. on it.
Yeah.
You
Your
know what I mean?
Body's
Like,
a temple.
just because I bought a Toyota Corolla doesn't mean I'm gonna stay with a Toyota Corolla the whole life.
Right.
Like I'm gonna upgrade it. Like
Right.
now it's like around like I want to say like a hefty little Range Rover.
Oh,
no,
okay.
I don't feel like I'm a Range Rover. What car would I be?
Like a Tesla?
Like a Range Rover. A Tesla costs the same as a Range Rover if you get the nice
Maybe a
one.
Tesla. Because I'm thinking size wise.
Okay, so you're still on like
Yeah.
the what cars?
Would
would
I
I
be a
thought you were
2-door? You're a
saying-
2-door car.
I thought you were saying.
I feel like you're your car, actually.
Dude,
You're your car.
I do as well.
You're
I
your
agree
car.
completely.
They say
Actually.
some people are their car
I
sometimes.
couldn't agree more.
Am I?
Yeah, if we were cars,
take
you are
it.
your car.
You're your car.
Oh my god, I'm kind of
1,000,000%.
obsessed.
You're like,
Oh my god, I didn't know we were talking about me.
I'm not not even the guess. I
I can't.
Ooh, okay,
Because we're
so-
gonna do it the whole time.
Okay, wait. Hair transplant.
Oh,
Yes.
Yes.
So,
So you
I
got
got
a
a
hair
hair transplant from the back of my head. They basically imagine like, you know that thing that
Hole
removes like
punching.
blackheads?
Like hole
Yeah, it's like
punching.
hole punching.
Comedone extractor.
The comedone extractor. Like it goes in and it goes around the follicle. It like yanks it out. Well, like it cuts it out and then like you can pull it out.
Yep.
So you pull out this follicle of hair with
Okay.
the fat and everything's still on it. And that's like they harvest it. They make like 1 hair follicles, 2 hair follicles, and then they start to like implant it. It's like about a 6-hour long process. 3 hours of them removing the hairs.
Okay. And 3.
I was passed out for that, like fully passed
Thank
out.
God.
They gave me
Thank
like pain
God.
medication. I wasn't under, but I passed out.
And they give you like Xanax and stuff like
At
that.
least
like,
you
they
don't
want
have to
be
recover
out.
from anesthesia in it.
I
Yeah.
hate that feeling.
See,
I
that's
know.
the worst.
the
That's the
I hate
worst
that
part.
So then I just got brows. I woke like
So let's talk about like how they grow. So this is
yeah.
hair from his scalp that was transplanted into his eyebrow space.
Yes.
So now what happens now that you don't have eyebrow hair there, but head hair there?
so it grows like the hair on
That's
my
my
head.
favorite
That's
part.
the gag.
That's
It
my favorite part.
grows
That is the
like
gag.
the hair on my head.
Why did I not think that that would be the outcome?
Everybody,
No one would
everybody
really think that, though.
because they think like, oh, if I'm putting it where the eyebrows go, it's just gonna
Right.
grow like brows.
Like brow.
And they'll stop when the brows
And they're
stop.
like, yeah, like it'll be short and maybe like a wax here and there. No. So the only thing I have to do, this is like the part that gets me, like when people are in my comments, they're like, can I please do your brows? Like brow estheticians, like people are like, please let me do your brows. Please. I'm like, what are you gonna do? Trim them with scissors? That's all I have to
You-
do.
yeah,
No,
'cause
literally.
they
I don't have to
put them
wax,
perfectly.
no threading, no nothing.
Dude,
so
you kind of have the dream.
yeah.
like all I do is like brush
Trim.
them up and like it takes less than 5 minutes.
Oh, I
It's
bet.
honestly perfect.
So
and it doesn't grow
easy.
anywhere else. And I just put like either oil, like castor oil, just to like tame it,
Yes.
or brow gel when I just don't want it to like move.
That's
I'm like,
amazing.
I love
That's
it.
so it's so crazy because I wean you with pre-brow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no
BB,
brow having as
BB.
Gabriel
But
Zamora.
this looks just
Yeah.
like you. Like you don't look like a different person. Like this looks like you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because you would also draw on your brows like very similarly.
Yeah, yeah. You would draw them on really good with like the hair like pieces
Yes.
drawn in, so it does still look like you. But also, you guys, if you want to see like really cool content, go to his TikTok or his Instagram page because
TikTok
he has
and
posted
IG.
reels of like them grown out, cutting them. My favorite is when you
Laminated.
laminate them.
That one killed this big
Because
a barcode.
people were telling me laminate them,
You
and I'm
should
like,
just keep going.
there's
with it.
one thing to like brush it up with gel.
And this
There's another thing
lamination.
for it to be stuck to my face in an upward motion. Which I love it on people.
2 inches.
I love it on people, but I'm not that girl. I
You
knew
don't
what I
have
bought.
to. You don't
You knew-
have
you-
to.
no,
You know what I mean?
You knew.
People are trying to get this look with lamination, the bushy brow.
Yeah.
Like I'm like I can't do that, and I don't regret it.
I absolutely, I freaking
And
love
I stand
it.
by that.
I stand by it. I stand by my decision.
Well, the best part is they put them in the perfect spot, so you don't have to like
Oh,
maintenance
because I was
them.
like, okay, well, with doctors, like they understand that, like with any hair transplant, you're supposed to make it look as realistic in where you're transplanting hair, because you can transplant hair anywhere on your
Totally.
body. Like you can put it on your arms.
Your
Men do
beard
it on their
hair.
beards.
Uh-huh.
People do
On the beard.
eyelashes, and it looks fucking disgusting. I know.
Does
know,
it?
I know.
Does
No, but it-
it?
Gabriel, you're being mean.
No,
They
but if
probably
it does,
love their
then-
eyelashes.
Does
No,
it?
it looks
It doesn't work.
disgusting.
It
I'm
doesn't
imagining
work.
lashes like to here.
Because imagine it's your head hair.
No, it's too
like
thick.
it
It's
just
weird.
grows and like
It looks crazy.
lashes
It looks crazy.
are thin
yeah.
in diameter.
Yes.
And unless you're like super straight, like they kind of grow in an upward
They
curl.
do.
To a point.
My brows, although we put them in the position that we wanted to, some of them are like, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna grow whenever
Really?
direction I want to. I'm like, oh. So I have to like train them, so I can only imagine my lashes. Oh my God.
You would
no.
die.
Yeah.
I would die.
You would die.
No way.
I would
Also,
not
the
like it. Just
idea of like
kidding.
having a transplant in this skin right here, like the idea of that really freaks me out.
It's so
Actually,
thin.
genuinely,
Because they have to cut it.
It's no.
Yes.
Yes.
So when
Like in here.
they took it all out, they turned me around, right?
Yeah.
Then they start to design the brow that we already etched
This is
out
a lot.
by
it's
like,
like
the holes
6
that they
hours.
make. So certain holes go at a certain direction, and like that's how the hairs are being transplanted.
How
So
do
the
they
front
even
goes
do
up,
this?
the middle goes crosshatch, so it creates density. So the hairs at the very top grow down, the hairs at the very bottom grow up, and then the hairs at the end grow down.
So
It's
this
like
is
our natural
something
brows, like
that's
how they
way
grow.
more than what you think it is. Like
Yeah.
in your head, you're just
It's not
like,
just like,
okay,
oh,
plug
hairs.
a hair here.
Yeah.
Like it looks good. Like this is a lot of science here.
A lot of different doctors do different approaches. So it
my
just matters as to like,
God.
some doctors only do upward, which is great because it's like,
Yeah.
if you want that bushy upward look,
Right.
that's
But
amazing.
that's not going to always be in, so you have to be careful and just kind
Yeah.
of do something natural.
Plus, you probably have to trim them a lot more often if they're going upwards. Imagine like how much more you'd have to trim. If they're going like this, it's gonna be like this.
I know there's going to come a day where Gabriel grows these really, really long.
Oh, yeah.
Like, so I'm waiting on that day because I know it's coming.
I want him to go. I want you to go. Like, yeah, I was gonna say. I want to see a handlebar mustache with brow.
I'm
Like
I
this.
want to braid them one day, like a little cornrow.
I
A little cornrow braid for the brow. Why has no one done that already?
Like, hey,
A bead, a feather at the end of it.
hold on your track.
feather.
A little feather hanging off like that. Yeah,
A bead.
Coachella.
Coachella.
Yes.
Or like tinsel in it. Oh,
Yes.
so Coachella.
Just one little.
That's a moment.
No, it's not. Stop
It's
trying to
not. Like, no,
sabotage
it's not.
me.
Honestly,
I can't. No,
I
I'm
had
not.
to get
Yeah,
the
we did.
brow talk out of the way.
You had to before you even
I was
started
like
that
on the edge of
podcast.
my seat. I DM him every day.
How are your brows? Any hairs I can have? Absolutely.
For my collection.
Larly Los Angeles is coming out with lashes made from brow hair.
A brow serum.
Brows
A brow
out of
serum.
Gabriel's
Yeah.
brow hair.
We're gonna take a quick break and we'll come back with our peak and our pit.
Woo woo. Thank you to Care Of for sponsoring this week's episode of Full Coverage. If you guys don't know what Care Of is, it is vitamins and powders that are tailored to you. Care Of is a subscription service that ships high-quality personalized vitamins, supplements, and powders conveniently to your door every month. You can take the short, in-depth quiz about your health goals and lifestyle and get a personally tailored recommendations based off your answers. You can stick to what Care Of recommends, or you can change up your pack anytime. Care Of's products are made from good-for-you, clean ingredients that are backed with the latest science and research, so you can feel good about what you're putting into your body. Their quiz is so easy, guys, and it asks you a lot of questions that you wouldn't even think of things that you really need to answer, and it only takes 5 minutes to do, so I highly recommend it to you guys. They have a little deal for you guys, of course, for 50% off your first Care Of order of $40 or more. Go to takecareof.com and enter the code FULL50. For 50% off your first Care Of order of $40 or more, go to takecareof.com and enter code FULL50. All right, guys, we are back, and we're going to discuss our peak and pits of the week. We normally start
course.
with that, but I just had to get brow talk out of the way. So, Gabriel, give us
a peek and a
something
pit.
good. Give us something good.
We'll start off with peak. We'll start with we all do our peak and then we'll all do our pits.
Okay. My peak was, oh my God, I went on a date last week.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
Sorry, I mean,
she
like
went on a
blood.
date last week.
Stop.
And it was really fun.
Oh my
well,
God.
like I was also a little litty. And like
makes
I
it more
feel
fun.
like, okay, it's hard for me to date because I'm too like analytical of everything. And I'm like, I think, and y'all understand this, like as influencers, we're very aware of what we look like. So we're not even worried about that.
Yeah.
Like once we enter
Yeah.
a space, like I
We're
know what I look like.
aware.
It's
Like
done.
I looked at
aware.
myself in the mirror. I
Every
took
angle.
a lot of selfies.
Uh-huh.
I know what I look like.
Yeah.
So you go into it just fully mentally. And when I think I'm being too Gabriel Zamora, or when I feel like I'm supposed to be Gabriel Zamora, I become like this personality.
Yeah.
That like maybe I'm like on a like family friendly type of interview of like with a
Yeah.
brand and a company and like, hey guys, this is a sponsorship. I'm on Amazon. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I put that
because you
persona.
don't know that person, so you're
Yes.
able to just kind of like do what you want to do. Put that, because it's kind of a shield in a way.
Yes.
100%.
So when, and like I found that like every single time this happens, I don't know which way it's gonna go because each time like the result has always been either or. And it's, if they don't ask me too much about me, it's either they don't care and they only care about themselves, right? Or they know who the fuck I am.
Okay, that's a great point. That's a great
Oh, and
point.
that's the one. And like, I don't want to be narcissistic and like, who the fuck are you? No, bitch, who the fuck are you?
No, who are you?
Who the fuck are you? I hear voices in my head.
They just at the table
no,
I
like,
hear the audience here. And the full coverage fucking audience is rude.
Okay, HRH. Battling inner demons.
Literally, stop.
Stop.
It's not the
That's not
vibe.
the vibe.
Literally, that's why I love her.
No, literally.
That's you on the
An
day. That's you on the
internal
day.
monologue.
Full, like fully voices in the head,
Uh-huh.
just constantly. So it's either, and like sometimes I'm like, maybe they don't know who I am. Like, even though I put my Instagram on there, I have amazing
Oh, so you
photos.
do. You like link your stuff.
Like I say who
Work.
I am,
Yeah.
but like, it's one thing to be like, oh, like I match with this guy. Let me see what he does. Oh, he's on YouTube. Like he's like an influencer.
Mm-hmm.
It's another thing to know who I was before we even match or as we
Yeah.
match. Like, oh, that's Gabriel Zamora.
Uh-huh. I've seen your videos before.
Yeah.
Or I know who he is, or
Or
he
I've
hangs out
been
with these
following
people. And I'm like,
him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
those always weird me out. Because then,
Well, the chances of you getting a genuine date at that point are pretty slim to none. If they had like actually been a fan of you, watched you before, knew exactly who you were, like the reaction's genuine. Like, how's that possible?
Yeah.
yeah, like it makes
It's
it
hard.
too weird.
It makes
it
I
it
like. I don't want to be
weird.
on a date with a fan.
Exactly.
Right.
I don't want to be in.
Exactly.
I have way too many friends
You
who've been
really wanna
canceled
get-
for that, and just
yeah.
like I'm not trying to be on that route.
No,
No.
absolutely
Not that
not.
boat.
No one wants to
Also,
fucking do
that's
that.
scary.
Yeah, it's like way
never
too much
know.
about me.
Exactly.
Yeah. And you
But
don't know
you-
nothing about them.
But you don't know nothing.
Nothing, and that's the part that weirds me out. Because then I'm like, I don't want to be the one talking the whole time,
Yeah.
asking you all the questions, but then it's because you already know so much. Ugh, so I'm like,
It's such a
That's-
weird thing to
that
be
is
in. I know
weird.
it well.
That's
Yeah.
weird.
but it was still fun.
Oh, the
I'm
date
still gonna
good?
see him
The day
again.
was good. Tell us.
Yeah, we went
What'd you guys
to La Boheme.
Oh,
Do I know what that is? I don't know
it's like
what
this like cute little restaurant in WeHo.
Yeah, we
I
had
went-
gone
I
last
went-
time.
yeah, we
Neither
went-
of them have ever taken me there.
No,
and I've
so
known both
you
of
swear
them
you leave your
for
house.
22 years.
You Laura, where you leave your house?
This is literally the day that you were supposed to go. It was like with me, Daniel,
yeah.
Gabriel. I was like, you were supposed to be there, but you're busy. And you're like, they've never fucking taken me. And like,
Anywhere.
we invited you actually.
I know.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
like to leave my house. I don't.
Yeah, it's a really cute place though. It's a really cute spot in WeHo.
It was bomb,
Mm-hmm.
and we went there, and then it like the date was like over an hour and a half, and we were still
That's
like
like-
hanging out.
Yeah.
So we're like, oh, let's just walk around. I was like, okay, down.
Oh,
We
that's
walked
That's
around
nice.
into WeHo, and I was like, oh fuck.
What day was this?
This was
Is it on
on either a
Friday?
Thursday or a Friday.
So
I
it's
can't
Okay, so
remember.
it was like
poppin'.
pop in.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh shit, like it's popping. But it was like around 10, so it wasn't too busy.
Okay.
And then we end up going to this one place because we're like, oh, should we just get a drink?
Mm-hmm.
He picked the place. I didn't like the place.
Okay.
It was just one of the places where I'm like, why this place?
Yeah.
Like, you know, like in WeHo, like, why this place?
But he didn't
Right.
want it to be too poppin' either though. Like so
no,
you can
but
still
like
talk.
we sat outside and I was recognized.
Yeah.
Like by people, which is one of my favorite flexes. I'm not gonna lie. Like on a date, like when people are like, oh my god,
I'm the complete polar opposite. I love that about you though.
oh my god,
like-
me? I'm just a regular Latina.
That literally
Ow.
is you.
This is literally him.
No, that's literally
Just
you.
out being Latina.
Like, oh my God.
Like, what?
I just have a couple falls.
Oh my god, I get some verified. Yeah, because I just be talking to the voices in my head, so sometimes I don't know like people that
I feel
actually
that.
follow me.
I feel
That
that.
is so freaking
I feel
funny.
that.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. What was your peak?
My peak, I feel like my peak is actually like I've been seeing more notices in like my body as I've been working out and like trying to eat a little healthier.
Oh yeah,
That's
we saw that
amazing.
post.
You saw the photo.
We
We saw that
saw
post.
actually called Greca and said,
No, you
come get
didn't.
your
No,
son.
you
He's
didn't.
posting
Stop
nudes
it right
on
now.
Twitter. Come
But
get
let's
your
Joe
son.
Biden. It's not nudes.
How about those gay rights?
Gay rights.
Let's put a sanction on that.
Take the rights right away. But no, literally, so I feel like I'm like noticing changes now, and I never did before. Really, I never like I
Yeah.
was like, okay, I'm working out, but like just kind of going with emotions, and now I feel like I'm like eating slightly healthier,
That's
and I
awesome.
do see more changes, and I'm like more proud of my body.
Yeah.
Than I used to be. Like I would never like ever take like a shirtless photo. Wouldn't take off my shirt at the beach, by the pool, like none of that stuff. Like I'm sure you've seen me shirtless like a handful of times.
Yeah,
Ever, and we've been
probably.
friends for years.
Yeah.
And it just like doesn't happen because I'm not comfortable. But I'm
same.
getting more and more comfortable as like time has progressed with like myself, and it's like a really cool feeling, honestly, because I feel
Yeah.
like I've as long as I remember, even since I was a child, I didn't take off my shirt at the pool.
Same.
Did none of that stuff. Like I was so embarrassed.
I was so conscious
constantly.
of being too skinny.
Really.
Isn't that fascinating? As a kid, they would always be like, "Oh, flaco, like look how
Flaco,
skinny
yeah.
you are." Da, 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 da.
Wow.
And I've always been really skinny, so
Yeah.
I would, like, and I have skinny arms, and I've tried to bulk them up. Okay, like I have Laura Lee arms.
Honey,
Those were my arms.
Those Michelle Obama arms.
Literally, not even. I didn't even have
You're
that
like, no,
definition.
not even
I have
definition.
women arms,
Definition.
like no shoulder definition because I also don't play basketball. So like my shoulders are never up.
Yes.
Like I just am like, like on a computer or on a phone, just like sitting there like.
It's what I swear to that I am.
Yeah.
It's me swearing that I'm so tiny like
Full
this.
dainty.
And I'm literally like shoulders out. Yeah. Got it. Yeah, so I feel like that's like my peak is like genuinely like seeing differences. Like I would never in a million years ever post a photo like that, but I was like, I feel like I genuinely looked good. So I want to post it because I was kind of proud of myself in that moment. You know what I mean?
You know what? That actually leads into my peak because I'm reading Jen Sinceria's third book because
she's blowing
love
through.
her.
I'm
Love
obsessed. I'm blowing through the book. So this one she just wrote on bad habits, and it basically is teaching you, what you think of yourself is what it is.
Yeah.
So it specifically says she was giving multiple examples, but one of the ones is if a person loses a lot of weight, but then quickly gains it back, is that person never really viewed themselves as a healthy person. They viewed themselves as an unhealthy person who's trying this out. So they go right back, but they never really believed they were healthy. But it goes right into you. Like you believe, obviously you're getting
I'm getting healthier. Like I'm not saying like I'm like the epitome of health, obviously, but like I'm making healthier choices, and that makes me in turn think that I'm being healthier.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I want to continue that because I feel like I'm seeing differences, I'm noticing things, and I'm like, oh, like I feel like I've never seen like definition there before.
Yeah.
And like, yes, did I have
That's
lipo before to
amazing.
help? 100%. But like, I've never even seen still definition like in my stomach like that, or like in my chest, and like even like when someone touches me, I like feel strong, and they're like, oh wow, like you feel really strong, and I'm like,
Damn.
like no, I was like no, but I like literally do, and it's like I know I'm strong, like I know, but now I can actually like, see it more, and it's not just like
That's
underneath
awesome.
the layers of fat that I had. You know what I mean?
That's
So
awesome.
I'll say that's my peak.
Mine's my book I'm reading.
You're like,
period.
mine is
Reading
the
a
book.
You guys should. Getting people to read a book is like asking them to like write a book.
Run a
It's
marathon.
they
I love an
wanna
audiobook.
go on, they
Ask
won't.
Run
I
a
love
marathon.
an audiobook.
Oh, see,
I feel like
that's what
it's
I
audio
tell
is how I
people.
like it.
I'm like, just
I'm not a
listen to the audio
booker.
version. You can literally change your life. So, but I'm reading her third book. It's really good. It's just about breaking habits and like all your core habits that you don't realize you have, and like the way you think, and like this means good, that means bad. And one of the chapters specifically talks about how humans love more than anything to be right, and that goes as far as like you knowing your future, you're right, you being content, that's you being right, you knowing the next
Ego.
step, that's
Ego.
Yeah.
it's like we love being right. We're very uncomfortable being wrong. So like starting a new journey, starting a new chapter, starting a new life, you could be wrong, on how it works out. You don't know what's going to happen. So that could lead you being wrong. So we hate being wrong as humans. And so I don't know. It's like pushed me to put myself in a position where I could be wrong now because I'm consciously like, get out of being right all the time. You know what I
You
mean?
don't have to be right all the time.
You know?
I used
So-
to be like that where I would have to be right. Like I remember
Yeah.
like in that mindset of
That's
like,
why
oh no,
I
no,
was
it's just
too.
like, I know better.
Yeah.
So like,
yeah.
no, I'm right.
Yeah.
And it's like, one of the things I learned was you can't expect people to like look at the world the way that you do.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't expect them to think the way that you do as well.
Yeah.
So even if they are wrong, you have to just let them be wrong.
Totally.
Yeah.
Because I've even encountered people that if you tell them to do something because you're looking out for the best for them, or you want like, this is the best route, like this is the best for you. And they're like, no, I'm gonna do the
No,
other.
I'm gonna do the other thing
Yeah.
instead.
And you're like, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
You're right.
Like I've found those people, I'm like, yeah.
and then they vent to you about it after, like it didn't look the way I
Yes.
wanted, and I'm like,
But
it
that's how
didn't?
humans are.
Yeah.
Like sometimes we have
100%.
like some people have to touch the stove to see that it's hot.
Not, they have
100%.
to.
I've grown from a very young age knowing that like people can tell you it's hot, Gabriel, and you don't have to touch this candle.
Yeah.
By Jackie Aina.
Yeah.
Forever Mood available at Sephora.
Forever mood, literally the best.
Forever Mood available at Sephora. Like I don't have to touch the flame to know that it's hot.
Right.
Like I can get. I'd sometimes like to get really close.
You're like, a whisper.
Maybe
a
I'll put my
whisper.
finger in the
Get a
wax.
little-
Yes, a little burn.
He likes to tamper.
Oh, it's so hot.
It's hard.
I love it. But like I've learned
Yeah.
that your ego could be like your biggest detriment.
Ego is your biggest detriment. And
Yeah.
this year alone, because I finished You're a Badass at Making Money this year. Now I'm into this one, but it talks a lot about ego. And like this year alone, I've taken a lot more chances, reached out to a lot more people. The thing that stopped me from doing that was my ego. Because what if they say no?
Yeah.
What if they don't want to hang out? What
Yeah.
if they ignore me? I'm going to be hurt. It's going to hurt my feelings, and I'm going to think about it. Who cares? And now I tell Ty, I said, well, I'm going to go forward. I'm going to ask this person. I'm going to reach out to this person. What's the worst case scenario? My feelings are hurt. Move the fuck on.
Move on.
Move
In like
the
a
fuck
week,
on.
you won't care.
You'll be
You
fine.
won't even
and you'll
remember that
exactly.
it happened.
It'll be your pit for the week. Next week you'll have another.
I'll have a pit.
Next week you'll have another
Another
pit.
pit next week.
Pit for the week.
My pit in my pit.
I keep getting rejected, guys. This is now the third week.
Like this week, this person told me to fuck off.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. I'm outing everyone on the podcast.
Oh my god, that's so funny. Yeah.
Yeah. So
What's your pit then?
My pit?
yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, so I was in Vegas.
Oh, TTT.
Yeah, last weekend. And honestly, probably it was between two. Because I made one of my pits, I saved it. I took like this photo with Katy Perry and I fully changed her face. She did not look like that.
No way.
I have to show y'all the before and after.
Oh my god, I need
I
to
was
see
like,
now.
I took a photo with Katy and this is what she looked like. Y'all have to see this.
Wait, but was it after she performed?
No, before. It's just like, you know when someone just takes a photo at the wrong time?
Yeah.
Like mid combo, mid conversation.
Yeah.
This is what I posted.
She
Okay.
looks beautiful.
She looks amazing.
Okay, scroll. Like,
I zoomed in.
Oh,
It was literally mid conversation.
FaceApp is the most toxic thing in the
FaceApp
entire world.
It is
Is
the
the
most
hot- most
toxic,
toxic
app
toxic
of
thing in
all
the
Oh, it
time.
literally is mid. It's mid conversation.
How did you
Yeah.
do that?
FaceApp.
Adding
That-
a smile on
Guys,
FaceApp.
she didn't look bad in the picture.
She didn't.
She
It
was
was
like,
like-
mid,
She was caught off guard. She's
She
like,
was
oh.
She was
midway
like,
talking.
yeah.
That's what it looked like. She was trying to talk, and then they like her eyes are like half closed.
But I
and-
saved it.
You
If
say
there was a
that.
picture to save, it would be that
It
one.
would be that one. I was like, I took a photo with
100%.
Katy Perry.
Like
She was
you-
holding me like.
Oh my
God.
God.
So I saved it, but I think my pit was like I matched with this guy on Bumble. And because I was there for like a little
Write
over
it
24
down.
hours, it was just like such a fast little trip that like, and
Yes.
Bumble like expires after 24 hours. Oh, and he was so cute and he was verified. And I'm like,
And you missed him?
and I'm a Pisces, okay? So I create an entire fantasy in my head.
Like
Oh, I
pick a
love
fence
that.
after like
Oh,
5 minutes.
like
that.
fully, I was
100%.
like, oh my god, this is
That's
like
a
the
form
type
of
of
manifesting
photos.
doing that.
But it's
It
also
is.
like,
It is.
It's, also,
It
it's
is.
also a little toxic. Just a little bit. Like fully, I was like, oh my god, like it just everything was flashing through my head. I was like, ooh, the videos we would make, the content, everything. And then I was like, am I really gonna pay $17.99 to rematch with this man?
Oh.
No,
I don't think it was worth $17.99.
I'll move
It's
on.
like we
don't
you all
care.
could have got
Plus,
married.
like I
And they're in
invested my money in my
Vegas, though, too.
brows.
Yeah.
Okay, that's where my money
Yes.
goes.
That's where the
Yes.
investment's
Yeah,
at.
like now I don't have to pay
And
to see who
yourself.
likes me. Now I'm like, ooh, people just be liking me. I'm like,
You have like 500 new
Yeah,
matches. You're
like,
like, oh my god. Being in Vegas, new cities, new matches.
I love having a new face, new matches.
Weird. Don't condone plastic surgery.
Yeah, I do. I
But if you
do.
like it,
The spokesperson
yes.
here.
If
Yeah.
you like it, absolutely.
What's your pit?
Okay, so my pit. Okay, it's a very random pit, but it was something.
Okay.
It just happened to me right before I came. So I was just kind of like, this is kind of uncomfortable. So
What?
there was this guy that came up to me at the gym, and he was like, "Hey Manny, I'm like a huge fan of yours." I'm like, "Oh my god, it's so nice to meet you." And we took a photo. He's like, "I'm actually a photographer, and I would like love to take photos of you."
Ooh, okay.
And I was like, okay. Like I was like, show me your Instagram. Show me. Like so he's like, here. He's like, here. This is what it is. Follow me. And I was like, oh, I don't know you like that. Like I always get kind of like,
I always lie. I say my manager.
yeah. I was
handles all
like,
that.
no. Like I was like, I don't control none of that. But I was just kind of like, oh, like I don't know you like that. Like for me, it's like kind of.
You just straight up told the dude.
I literally told him I was like, oh, I don't know you. Like I'm not gonna like just randomly follow you.
That's an option
Like
too.
that's just like I was just like no, I'm like I'm good, but like thank you, I appreciate it. And so he was like, oh, would still love to. He was, I'm gonna DM you, would love to work with you, da da da. And I was like, okay,
Oh, that's amazing.
cool. But I saw his work, and I'm like, he's like does a good work, but I just wasn't my vibe. It wasn't my interesting. It was like
Okay.
he literally did like more like lifestyle shots, and I was like, oh, I'm like
You
a
do
beauty
glam. You do-
creator,
you do beauty
so that's
shots.
like what I do, right?
Yeah.
So he messaged me and I was like, oh, like, yeah, I'll let you know when like I'm interested in doing a shoot or something like that. And I think that's like
Perfect.
kind of all you can do, right? So this is literally like
100%.
maybe like a month ago, right?
Oh, okay.
I was talking to my friend today at the gym and we're like literally having a conversation. Someone like taps behind me and I look and it's him. And he's like, hey, it's me again. And I was like, hey. And I didn't recognize him for a second. And I was like, hey, you. And I was like, hey. And he's like, so. And so he like goes right into conversation. Like, even though I was just talking, I was like, oh, I'll see you later, girl. Like, we'll talk later. So he goes, he's like, so I was thinking for our shoot. And I was like,
You planned the shoot?
He was like, so I was thinking like a shoot here at the gym.
Hours. That's a form of manipulation.
No, it literally.
How dare you say hours?
Have you watched Big
I planned our
Mouth?
shoot.
I've watched like 2 episodes.
I
I
need you
feel
to
like
watch
you would
more
live.
because you sound like one of the hormone monsters. Like, because they come into your mind and tell you shit like that.
I try to
That's
watch.
literally it. He's a hormone monster.
They have like another one. It's like human resources
Yes,
or
that's
something
the
like that.
spinoff.
I watched the first episode of that
Okay.
and I love that.
Okay, do you get what I'm saying? You're
Yeah.
you're one of those.
I'm the lady. I'm the sexual one. I'm the super sexual lady.
Love it. So he's like, oh, so I planned it for our shoot, and I was like, oh, I was like, what do you mean? And so he goes, I was thinking like I'll bring my tripod here. I'll
the
shoot
gym?
you at the gym. We'll do a full gym shoot. And I literally, so I was just like, oh, I was like, no, like the gym like won't even allow you like to record here. Like
No
you can't do. He's
way.
like, oh, I was like, I've done it before. All I have to do is like tell them that I'm not gonna like shoot at people, but I'll shoot like around and just you. And I was like, oh,
I'm
honestly,
shocked
like
they would still let that happen.
I'm so shocked. But I was
Yeah.
like, no, like I'm not even comfortable like that to be like doing a full like body workout photo shoot like
Oh, yeah.
in the gym like
Yeah.
when I'm like just going to just like literally like relieve myself of like anxiety. And so he was like, oh, okay, so when do you think we can kind of like make it happen? Like let me know, DM me. And I was like, I just feel like I'll let you know.
Yeah.
It was very like
Yeah.
I'll let you
Yeah.
know
Put the ball
when I want to. And then I
in
was
your
like,
court.
and then so he was like, okay, like, so when are you thinking kind of
Oh,
like one
gosh.
vibe? So he was like very persistent about it. And I finally was like, I can't think of any time that's coming
you
up
tell
actually.
him?
I told
You
him that.
told
I told him that. I was
him.
like, honestly, I have nothing coming up that I could think about to do a shoot. So I think I will definitely let you know.
You know, sometimes when you want something really, really bad like that, put it out there and leave it alone. If it's meant to be, it
Yes.
happens.
It'll be.
Like
It'll
you
be.
don't force things because then it ends up being a negative experience. And that goes with anything in life you're trying to get. If you obviously he wants to make it happen.
Totally.
So it's like fine the first time like mentioning it and like being like, hit me up, here's my Instagram, and then let it lie. And next time say hello to you and move on.
Well, the reason I was like a little bit at the end of it when I was like, okay, let me just tell how it really is, because he said in the middle of our conversation, he goes, well, things I want to collab with bigger creators so that people know who I am. And I was like, okay, so I think we're just having some wires crossed
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
I don't think, and I
Yeah.
think there's like this thing about like being like tactful in this kind of ways. Like I understand, like I knew the whole time that you wanted to take photos of me, so you can tag me and like share it, like do that whole thing. Like I understood what was happening.
Right.
But you tell me that you're like, oh, I want to shoot with you, so that other people see that I shoot with you, and so I can grow in that way. Like he
Yeah.
literally
Yeah.
told me that verbatim, and I was like, oh, I don't think we're on the same wavelength.
Wavelength.
So just that literally happened right before I got here. So I was just kind of like, I'm gonna go. You have a great workout, and I'm gonna
I feel
get
like the
going.
good thing is though you told him the truth instead of like farted around with them.
Yeah, I kind of was just like very like, okay, it's very like I'll let
Like
you know.
you were honest. Like you
I was
were
honest
like,
about it. I'm not gonna be like, yeah, I was like, yeah, like let's shoot for next week, and then never had next week happen. I'd rather just be like, no, it's not happening. Like I don't
Yeah.
want to shoot with you. I don't know you. We've literally just like random in passing, and like I don't want to like shoot with you.
Like that's not even my content.
No, it's literally like not what I do at all. And like for him to be
Yeah.
like, let's do a full blown workout shoot. I was like,
It
I
feels-
would
yeah.
rather die than do a full blown workout shoot where I'm on the treadmill running. He literally was like,
rather
you can be on the
die.
treadmill running.
The drama.
Yeah, I would rather on a live.
I'm like
Yeah.
zoom into Gabriel's face.
I'd rather
God.
die than do that. I would just never do that. No, but I just like for me, like I get like kind of self conscious. Like I don't want to do anything like that.
Yeah.
So I was like, no, it's for me.
I'm
It's like not my
self-conscious
vibe.
working out for sure.
Yeah, I get self conscious working
I'm
out.
not
I'm
good
like, don't
at
look at
it.
me.
I'm also not very
Like
strong.
I want to look like Alyssa Ashley. Ooh, those
I
glutes.
see her at the
Also,
gym
her
sometimes.
face is the prettiest face.
She's
the
literally
world.
the most beautiful.
And Arnell.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like
She like posted like a photo dump of like stuff, and like she posted a video of her unlocking Arnell's phone with her own face.
Genius. Iconic.
It was iconic. I was like,
Iconic.
these are the things I want to know. These are the things I want to know.
I love that. There was so much beauty I couldn't
Gorgeous.
fit into even just one human. It had to be
Yes.
split into two.
Wow.
As they should.
As it
As
should.
God should.
As
get
it
to.
should be.
We
'Cause
get
it's
to.
it was too much. No, but
Yeah.
I see Alyssa at the gym sometimes.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
she goes to your gym.
Yeah, sometimes she'll come to mine, and like she looks, if way better actually in person than she
Always.
does online. Like her ass looks
Always.
better in person. Her face looks better. Everything is better in person. I'm just like, wow. Like
Yeah.
she shocks me.
Well,
Every time I
She
see her.
she looks
but
like,
she's like such an introvert.
I know.
Yeah.
Which I
I
naturally.
think
love.
they both are.
Yeah.
Arnell
Like
and Alyssa.
especially Alyssa, and like
Yeah.
I think even like on her story she had said like, oh, like people think I'm gonna be like in a bikini, like all
Yeah.
naked. She's like, no,
Right.
I'm still a nerd. So I love
Yeah.
that she's
I
like
love that.
very just by herself, but like share so much.
She's
But she does it for
she's
herself.
so sickening, but like down to the core, she's like herself. Like she
Yes.
doesn't
For her.
care. Like the
Yeah.
persona doesn't carry on into her mind. She's still like who she is. That's so cool.
I love that, and I feel like you don't find a lot of people like that, because even like with like going into like her fitness route that she's gone in, it's like that could have been really scary and nerve wracking. Like to leave beauty, not like that she's left behind, but like that's a big pivot. You know what I mean?
It's a smart
any
pivot. It's a smart
influencer,
pivot.
I think pivoting sometimes, like, we get scared because we've seen it. Like, there's
about
pushback.
being right. It's about
there's
being right.
yeah, like people get pushback, so sometimes people don't even want to do things.
Yeah.
And like,
100%.
I always tell people, I'm like, do everything. What the fuck?
Just try a little bit of everything.
Just
Do
because somebody's
everything.
only stuck with one way,
Yeah.
and they're telling you, no, you can't do this, you can't do that. Like, who do you think you are? And it's like,
Yeah.
bitch,
Girl,
who do you
just do
think
whatever you
you
want to do.
are?
Yeah.
You're the one
Yeah.
that's living your life. Like you have to do it the way you want to do it.
Yes.
I literally started making like drinks on my Instagram, which is so random. But like people literally are so here for it. Like they don't give a shit. They're like,
It's fun.
It's fun. They're like, ooh, this is cute. One girl was even like, I've been saving these and I don't even drink alcohol.
Dude, why is that? I'm commenting like that looks so good. Never fucking tried it. Never gonna try. Just like that looks
that
amazing.
real support, you know.
Yes.
But
That's literally me. Commenting
people
on
will
it.
support it. I think anytime you feeling like you should pivot, if it's like genuine and you're feeling good about it, the content's probably going to be pretty good and like feel good. So it's going to resonate well.
Just create.
Just
Yeah,
Just
and be happy with it.
create.
Like as long as you're happy with the creation, like just do what you want to do.
do what
Yeah.
you want to do.
You're gonna feel so much more fulfilled when you're creating content that you like to do rather than content that you think that everyone wants to see.
Yes.
Like at the end of the day, you'll feel so much better about yourself. It's like even like when I create stuff, I'm like, oh my god, I'm like this might not be as many viewed things, but I like doing it because it's
Yeah.
fun for me.
That makes
That's
sense.
part of like creating as like a creator. They have to find things that people want to see, but also find things that you're passionate about and like kind of mix the two and intermingle them. Because if you only do things that people want to see, you'll burn out.
Yeah.
If you only do that, it's like you're not gonna make a career out of things that you only want to do all the time. I mean, you can maybe potentially, but a lot of the times, like it's not gonna fit in that same kind of like wavelength
Yeah.
Yeah.
of like what people want to see. Like not everyone wants to see like paint drying. You know what I mean?
I love paint drying.
As an example, it's an example. I knew you were gonna fucking say that
I
too.
love paint drying.
What is your pit, Laura?
Oh, let me think about that. I've only had 30 minutes to process what it could be, and I have nothing. I'm just kidding. No, there's for sure pits.
Tell us what's wrong with your life, okay?
Should we actually,
open?
why don't we go to a break?
He just go to a break right then and there. He said that.
Why don't we go to a break?
Tell
We're gonna take a
Help me
break,
out.
and when we come back, we're gonna find out
Laura's
the
pit.
worst part of Laura Lee's life
I like
of the week.
We'll be right back.
this. La, la, la. Thank you to FrameBridge for sponsoring this portion of Full Coverage. You guys, I have to tell you about this amazing service I found. It's called FrameBridge. They make it super easy and affordable to frame your favorite things, from your art prints to your posters to travel photos sitting on your phone. So with Mother's Day right around the corner, FrameBridge also makes the perfect gift. In fact, select gifts ship next day.
You guys, the fact that you can do this for a gift for your mother for like Mother's Day, it's so thoughtful, it's so sweet, it's so cute to me. I just think it's freaking amazing. All you have to do is just go to framebridge.com and upload your photo, or they'll send you a packaging safely by mail in physical pieces.
So yeah, basically you upload it and then they'll print it out for you in frames and posters, however you want it.
Instead of the hundreds you'd pay at a framing store, their prices start at $39 and all shipping is free. FREEE. Plus, our listeners will get 15% off their first order at framebridge.com when they use code FOOL. That's FOOL.
Get started today. Frame your photos and send someone the perfect gift. Go to framebridge.com and use promo code FOOL to save an additional 15% off your first order. Go to framebridge.com, promo code FOOL. Framebridge.com, promo code FOOL. Thank you to Green Chef for sponsoring this portion of Full Coverage. Green Chef is a CCOF certified meal kit company. Green Chef makes eating well easy, and it fits into every lifestyle, whether you're on the keto, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free diet. They got something for you. So just like balanced meals, they have a huge range of recipes to suit your preferences. Whatever you're looking for, they got it. Green Chef is now owned by HelloFresh, and I love that because now they have a wider array of meals to choose from.
I love that, you guys. The cool thing about Green Chef as well is the fact that it's pre-proportioned ingredients that basically is going to reduce your food waste by at least 25% compared to grocery shopping. And like, I feel like that's an amazing, amazing deal. And I think that with Green Chef, it just makes me be more adventurous. You know, fresh produce, premium proteins, organic ingredients we can trust. Green Shelf is the #1 meal kit for eating well.
You know, I talked to someone the other day who meal preps themselves, and I said, girl, how is that? And she said, baby, it's a full-time job.
Baby, that's work. That's work.
It's a full-time job. So stuff like this makes it so easy, and also the cooking on it so easy. I highly recommend checking it out. It will be a lifesaver in time and make your world tons easier. Also, did you know with Green Chef, you get hand-picked organic veggies with premium protein, so you can feel great about what you're eating and how it goes to your table.
And you guys already know it's an ad here. We have a special little deal for y'all. You already know. Go to greenchef.com/full130 and use code full130 to get $130 off plus free shipping. $130.
Oh my gosh.
You guys, what?
That is a deal.
That's insane. Go to greenchef.com/full130 and use code full130 to get $130 off plus free shipping.
Wow.
And don't forget, you guys, that is the #1 meal kit for eating well.
We're back with my pit, and this is what we've all concluded. Yeah. My life's been going pretty fucking well lately, but I also have been reading books, meditating, and focusing on the positives. Yeah. So it's like things tend to go where you focus on them to go. Yes, I'm sure the same shit's happening. I'm just not allowing it to affect me like I used to. Yeah. And I'm sure there'll come waves in my life where negative shit happens and it tears me apart. It's not like always gonna be perfect, but I would just say, wait, what was I saying? What was my pit?
You don't have one.
Oh, yeah.
Your pit is no pit.
One. I mean, I'm sure if I thought long and hard enough, I could for sure come up with like a little something, but nothing specifically that would be substantial, you know.
That you would think that would be like, that's my
like
pit.
Something, a conversation to talk about.
Yeah.
If I come up with something before the end of the episode, though, I will share.
You'll shout out your pit?
Oh, for sure. In the middle.
Shout out to my pit.
In the middle of the conversation.
Shout out to my pit.
We're like talking about our coming out story. Okay, guys, I have my pit. I have my shut up. Stop talking about gay rights. My pit is.
That's my pit. Is gay rights.
Gay rights. That's Laura's pit.
First of all, I am a lover of gay people.
You were gonna say. I know what you were gonna say. You're like, no, we can't say that.
No,
I am
absolutely.
a lover of the gay community. I think it's been pretty obvious.
It's like very obvious. Like you have like literally a vast majority of gay friends.
I love gay people a lot. I resonate with, I don't know, like I just vibe with them very, very well. And I feel like a lot of gay people have a very good sense of humor. And like I've had some of my best times in life with gay people. So I don't know. Like I love gay people.
Gay rights.
Literal gay rights.
Gay rights.
Gay rights.
Say gay.
That's the thumbnail, Manny?
Gay rights.
Gabriel?
That's the whole title of the episode. Gay rights with Gabriel Zamora.
We talked nothing about gay rights.
With gay, real Zamora.
Today we're gonna talk about being gay.
Can I ask him the $1 billion question? Because I just feel like this is a great
first?
Yeah.
Sure.
I don't want to know about your journey here.
You know my journey.
I do. That's why. Guys, I know
we do. We
How long
know.
have we known you?
Since at least 2016, 2017. Today I was like making this TikTok of like, oh, this is what I looked like in 2016.
I saw it.
Yes, I saw it too. I saw it too. I remembered all those.
Through
I remembered all those hairs, so I knew that.
Yes, 2016 was like the New York phase, like my first time there, like, and I knew y'all before then.
Yeah.
Like when you were working at Lily Ashes.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's how I met you.
That's like how I.
How did I specifically meet you?
Probably at a party.
Yeah, probably so.
I'm sure at a party.
Mm-hmm.
I met you at the Lily Lashes studio, right?
Yeah.
Like at the headquarters.
Yeah. You were like in downtown.
Mm-hmm.
That's so weird when you think about like how you like meet someone and like how like the journeys just like go.
It was a long time ago. I mean, it's 2022 already.
Yeah, that was what, 6 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be like
Only
6 years ago.
Because I've lived in LA now for 7
I met you early on to when I moved here, and you had recently moved here when I met you.
Yes.
Like both of us had just kind of moved here.
Yeah. I remember that.
I remember that too. And Gabriel's from Texas, guys.
Yeah, I'm from the South.
Yeah.
So we asked the $1 billion question, and then we're gonna really go into
$1 billion.
Okay.
You're like, I don't care about your past.
No, we're
Let's
gonna
talk about
go
your
your
past.
journey, damn it. We're gonna get your fucking
$1 billion
journey.
on. Okay, Gabriel, I give you a briefcase with $1 billion cash, tax free. Can't spend it on charity. We already know you're gonna give a ton to your family. What are you buying yourself?
First?
What's the fat daddy
he said
purchase?
First.
Where's that fat
I take a
purchase?
hit out on Laura because how the fuck does she have this money? She's probably gonna report me later. Okay, so $50,000 goes out on a hit on Laura. Why does she have this money now that she's the only person who knows and she's out? oh, I can really start doing some
This is why I love asking people this question because you
It's
never
different every
know
time.
the
It's
answer.
different every single time.
I would, okay, if I really had that, I would probably in Houston buy a big ass house, have a lot of family there, probably start helping some of my family members back in Mexico. Like I would start doing that. I'd be like, okay.
Yes,
Like
yes,
everybody,
yes.
like let's start fixing everybody. Then after that, I would probably start a charity because, you know, tax deductions. But I also want to help people.
You're like not
No,
not just
this is tax free.
I know,
This
but
is
like,
tax-free.
You're never gonna pay taxes on this.
think of if you didn't.
oh, true.
No,
but like,
charity.
This
I'm
is
gonna
liquid
invest
cash.
it.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna
Okay.
make
Okay.
more
So is
income.
There
that
you go.
what you would do
You invest it.
with?
I would invest half of
What's
it.
something you would spoil yourself with? Something big. Mine's a yacht.
oh
Just
my
so you know,
God.
I want
Mine's a
a yacht.
PJ.
He wants a private jet. I want a yacht.
Jeff Bezos' head in a pickle jar.
Oh!
And I feel like I could pay for that with that much money.
I want to know how you're gonna survive without Amazon when you do that.
It'll still go on.
It will still live.
It'll live on. It'll live on.
It'll live in the
That,
pickle.
or I would probably, oh my God, it'd be so, like I would buy a high rise and call it the Zamora.
Oh,
See, I like this.
Yes, and I
love
would
that.
live like
this.
on this, I would probably
would
make
the
it
high
like
rise be?
30, one in Houston and one in LA.
Oh, love
okay,
it.
okay, I love that.
Love it.
And I would live like on the 20th floor
Why not 30th?
because I'm trying to charge those bitches.
Oh, I get
Yeah,
it.
yeah, you're like, I want it to
There's
be like-
Profits.
idiots out there that are gonna pay that.
Yeah. On the,
It's me.
In the, and the PH.
Yeah, I would like live in the building, like totally
Like
incognito. I'd have a whole floor.
Like Kathy Hilton living at the Waldorf.
Yes, like fully just living there, full floor. Like you can't even press it. Like it's not even on there. They're like,
It's
oh,
not even an
that's-
option.
Yeah.
It's
You have to have a
your
special card for it.
optionally.
Yeah, and then I would like it would just be cool. I would pick all the amenities. I would pick
love
like the
that.
decor, the direction, because it would give me like
Oh.
the Monopoly,
High-rise.
like full capitalism vibes. I completely understand that,
As
but
you- as
like
long as you
it
know.
reminds me of Monopoly, and I feel like that'd
Yeah.
be really cool to own like high
It's
rises
just got
like that.
juicy.
Yeah,
I love that.
That
answer.
is a creative answer.
That's a
We have not
good
gotten
one.
that yet. Kristen Dominique said she would have hair and makeup follow her everywhere she goes. Wouldn't that be nice?
Genius.
Mine's yacht. Manny's PJ. What was Katie's?
Katie's
Oh,
was
Katie-
house in like the tree house.
In Pasadena, in this rich neighborhood
Yeah.
where the trees are like shocking. And then she was like basically being a shopaholic.
Yeah,
which
and shop
I would
like
too.
all the
I'd
time.
literally
Oh,
buy
she was going
everything.
to in Europe like a shopping spree in Europe.
spree in Europe and buy everything.
If you wanted.
That would be good too.
But I love that. I like how we're just like getting more and more answers. Like this is a fun question.
Everybody. So next guess, I'll tell them your answer too.
Yeah.
The Zamora.
'Cause
Or
The
like-
Jeff
Zamora
Bezos.
Resort.
like
Oof.
it's not my responsibility to fix the world. Okay, that money's mine. So leave me alone. Okay.
It's yours. It belongs to
Yeah,
you.
they're like eat
Well,
the rich.
you know,
I'm
first
like
First of all, let me
stop. I
explain
grew
this.
poor.
$1 billion doesn't fix the world.
Oh,
No,
$1 billion is a drop in the bucket.
I feel like
for
$1
the
billion
world.
could fix LA though.
Yeah, maybe.
And like
$1
the
billion.
homeless pandemic.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Because sometimes
It
I'm
would
like,
definitely
Can really
help.
Yeah.
yes. Like imagine if like,
billion,
okay, that's
yeah.
why I want Jeff Bezos' head. Because imagine if Jeff Bezos like just said $1 billion goes into creating a building
Yeah.
where we can house like the homeless people,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but also have the building provide like resources like AA and like therapy, like
Prepare for the real world.
yes,
job
like
interviews.
classes
A whole
for it,
building
like
for it.
a whole rehabilitation center that isn't for profit.
Yeah.
He could do that.
You know
But he
what's
chooses
cool?
not to.
100%.
Also, he could give to this specific charity that I'm a part of that basically does exactly what you're describing. They're called Food on Foot. We contribute every month to it. It's so cool. It's specifically for the homeless in LA. And if you are clean and off drugs, you can enter into this program. They will get you a job. They will fix your teeth. They will buy you glasses, outfits, train you for interviews for a job. They'll get you a job, and basically you live at their places for free. And the more you do good at your job and you take steps up on doing community service, you get to change color shirts and work your way up in it. And they take
cute.
all of your paychecks the whole time of your program, so you don't get any of your money. And then after 5 months of being in the program, they give you your lump sum and you're able to move out on your own. So you have a load of cash that you worked for, that you earned, and you're able to just kind of restart your life at that point.
See, like
love
what an
that.
amazing organization
Organization
that
to
with the
give to
power
or- yeah.
of all these multi-billionaires, multi-millionaires with
Yeah.
their financial resources,
Yeah.
their voices, what they could do with that.
Like, and it's like the
Insane.
organization's already there. Just give this
Yeah.
dude that runs it. The guy's amazing, so passionate about it. Give him the funds to like blow this shit up.
But
But
no, instead they want to go to the outermost part of that fucking atmosphere and call it going to space.
oh yeah,
And
yeah.
spend millions and
Right,
millions and
right,
millions
right.
on dollars on that, on like
Right.
a pissing contest.
Yes, a pissing contest.
Oh, it definitely is.
a pissing contest.
100% of like,
But it's like you can do that, but also do this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
yeah, like do more. Like just do more
you
and
can
be
do
better.
both.
Be
It's
better.
not even one or the other.
Yeah.
Do both. So yeah, okay. I'm sorry. Let's tap back into you moving here from Texas.
It was really hard.
We're not gonna let him have that.
We're not gonna let you
We're
have
not
that.
gonna
No,
let
no,
him
no,
have
no, no.
that.
I'm still so homesick.
Boy, it was a dust trail.
I was like, oh, get me out of this
I need
place.
to run. Okay, when did you move out here? What brought you out here?
I think it was
All
like
that.
2015, end of 2015.
I think we moved
Okay.
here the same year.
Yeah. It was like full end of 2015
Because
vibes.
you've been here for 7 years?
Yeah.
Me too.
Period.
Oh, wow, I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I moved out here because I was working in retail in Houston, and I was just like, this ain't it. Like,
Yeah.
there was a lot of things going on there, and I'm like, I want more.
Yeah.
And it just so happened that Lily with Lily Lashes was expanding, and she's like, okay, like I can hire somebody for like marketing and like doing PR and like social media type of stuff.
Yeah.
And I already had like an operations background, so she's like, oh my god, then you can kind of help me structure like the company as well as like go to the events for me.
Oh,
Like
wow.
I don't want to go to
Be
the
like your
events.
rep.
Yeah, Lily was like,
rep.
I don't want to go to the events
How
anymore.
did you get to meet her? Was it
Yeah,
just through
how'd that
social
even happen?
media?
Because Jesus had a partner at the time, and they had met her in Houston because she was doing like a birthday tour all through like Texas and things.
Got it.
And she ended up having a party in
How
Houston.
crazy.
Yeah. Like,
insane.
and she just needed local glam.
Wow.
They ended up meeting her. They ended up creating a relationship with her. Jesus and his partner ends up moving. Jesus is my best friend, you guys. He ends up moving to LA probably like 8 months before I did.
Okay.
And at dinner, he was at his birthday dinner with Lily. She's like, they're talking. One thing leads to another. She's like, oh my God, wait, Gabriel's moving here? Like, I've met him a couple times. Like, I have the perfect job for him.
Yes.
Yeah. So then I just got the job offered. She was still a little hesitant because I didn't live in LA.
Yeah.
And I was
Yeah.
like, I remember I was like, I give you my word,
perfect.
and my word is my bond,
Yeah.
and I'm staying.
Yeah.
And I ended up
Obsessed.
staying.
You and Jesus, by the way, it's Jesus hair. If you guys
Oh.
probably know who you're talking
Jesus there.
Legend.
about. Gabriel went to high school with him, correct?
Yeah. Middle
They've
school.
known. Oh my God, they've known each other forever.
Since 8th grade.
And I met Jesus through you.
Yeah.
Same.
And Jesus reminds me a lot of you.
Yeah.
It's so funny, you guys.
Mm-hmm.
I love them both so much. They're the coolest people ever. But you two remind me of each other.
We've grown each other, like
That's
we've
why.
grown up with
They've
each
grown
other
up
our whole
together.
lives, constantly talking. Like,
How crazy is it that you're both like really living the good life in LA? How's
Literally.
that?
That's
both of
insane.
you
And he's like a
from
full-blown
I mean, both
celebrity
come from a
artist.
very similar background. Like both immigrant
Exactly.
parents, both kind of like outskirts of Houston and
Yeah.
kind of
small
pretty like low
town,
income area.
Low income.
Mm-hmm.
And now look at both of you. That's kind of crazy. Like, what are the chances that both of you make it? And both of you are still friends.
Yeah.
That's even crazier
That's
out in LA.
That's even crazier.
Yeah, that's incredible. Okay, so what's going on now? What's the tea? I know you just moved into a new place.
I moved into a new place.
Oh.
I mean,
love
like
it.
people already kind of know where I live, but I was like, should I say it? I'm like,
Don't say
I
it.
moved to a different part of LA, which I
Yeah.
really love.
Yeah.
Area I can walk around a lot
Your
in.
view's
which I
beautiful.
love it. Oh,
It's beautiful.
I just like, I wanted higher, but oh my God. Like it gives me the worst anxiety.
Oh, I would
Is
literally.
it?
I
it
same
really
with me.
does. It
Why?
really does.
What is it? The height?
It's the height. Like
Does
just
it?
and like my railing is glass. And I'm like,
Shit. That
It's
would make
scary.
me a little nervous.
like just looking down, like it just I can go into these settings for like if it's somebody else's place. Absolutely. And I'm like, ooh, it's cute. Because like I'm aware that like I'm not around this.
right.
Yeah.
But to always be around
live
that
there?
height, yeah, I was like, oh my God, I can't do that. So I'm like in the middle of the building, which I really, really like. Because
Okay.
I'm like, okay, like it's still really high, but I can still stare at people, but I can still
Wow.
be really high, everyone, and like stare
Yes.
at buildings and like far. So like it gives
Enjoy
me all
the
the
view.
visuals. Yes, all visuals.
Obsessed.
the place is gorgeous. I literally have been there, and it's literally
I
stunning.
haven't.
We
I'll
went
have
to
to
like
come.
we went to like a little market, like a little nighttime
Oh yeah,
market.
something
that?
market
Like a
in
few months ago,
downtown.
in downtown.
I think
Like
it's
a
like
little-
26th Street Market, some shit like that. And it's like Thursday through Sunday after 7 p.m. until like midnight, and it's like in between two buildings.
Yes.
Like
It's like a
almost
little
like an
nook.
alley.
Oh, alley all the way down. There's
Like a whole
street
block
vendors.
of an
Oh
alley.
my God,
and
how
just
cute
vendors.
is
Nighttime,
that?
at
Are you
nighttime.
kidding me?
And it's bomb food.
The
And we ate
best
like a
thing.
ton.
Bomb food. And like little knickknacks here and there.
He bought a poncho when we were
Bought a
there.
full poncho.
Because he was like,
it's
I'm
not even called a
cold.
poncho. It's called
Is
a
it not called a
serape
poncho?
or some shit like that.
Really?
My Latina audience, let me know. They're like,
They
that's not a
said,
poncho.
"Bitch, get it right."
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I did not
I think
know
it's
that.
like serape. I didn't even know that. I was like, whatever. I'm Latina.
I claim this. I literally don't
Yeah,
care.
that's I'm like, whatever.
And so your parents are both from Mexico.
Yeah, my mom is from
Right.
Michoacan.
Okay.
And my dad is from Guadalajara. And I've been
And how many siblings do you have?
3.
3 siblings.
So 3 siblings.
So you're the first generation, though,
technically,
here, though.
Yes. So we're first generation. My mom came in a trunk of a car, and my dad went through the desert.
No
Like, yeah, he went through
way.
the
Like
whole
the actual, like-
Mexico, Arizona
No
little desert
way.
vibe with like, I think it took him 3 days, and he had like a little backpack and like a jug of water.
God, I
my
know.
gosh.
I'm like, what? My toxic trait is thinking I could possibly do that,
I
knowing
can't.
good and damn well.
I can't.
I know I wouldn't be able to.
12 hours out, 6 hours out. I'm done.
I
That's
can't do
so
a lot.
scary.
So I give it to them. I'm like,
Well,
props
it's also
to you.
Your
really scary.
mom?
Yeah. Well, she was young too.
But
And you know,
still.
when you're young, you're kind of like more down to do crazier things.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
Like they were in their teens when they came.
Okay,
So like they weren't
okay,
like 25 when like their mind was like really developed. And they're like,
Developed.
is that the smartest thing?
They were-
Yeah, they were like, let's just do it.
Well,
Fuck it.
it worked out.
Yeah,
Is
it
that
fully worked
so?
out. And then they're like, oh, we went from one shit show to another. Like once you find out America's a mess,
Yeah.
you're like,
What
Yeah.
did they call it with the Gucci belt? What do they call it? America is the something with the Gucci belt.
yes,
I
it's like
can't
a
remember.
like
A metaphor for
Yes.
what it is.
Uh-huh.
Like it's a front.
it's like a trash can with a Gucci belt.
That's what it is.
I think that's what it- yeah.
Something
There we
like
go.
that.
It's a mess.
There we go.
It's a full mess.
It's literally a
Yeah.
disaster out here as well. If they came
Do your
out.
parents like Texas though? I mean, how did they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think my mom would rather live in California. I think she because when we first moved here, we lived here.
Okay.
And
Oh, okay.
then we ended up moving to Texas. I feel like I was raised in Texas, but she basically like really lived in
Lived
LA.
out here.
And
Oh, I did not
California
know that she
Valley
was in
vibe.
LA
Yeah.
So she
specifically.
knows everything about where you're at.
Yeah. So she like knows the area. She knows it
Yeah.
really well. And she like misses the weather because it's like the best,
best weather
Oh,
ever.
Literally.
Like
You really
everything.
pay for the weather here too.
Literally.
You
Part
pay
of
for
the
the
expense-
weather.
you're really
That's part
paying
of
for
the
the weather.
expense. I tell people, I'm like, the weather's not free.
No, it's sure not.
Wherever the weather's great, the price
You're
of
paying
the
for
houses
it.
are high.
Ah.
Yeah.
It's true. And so, and they're both out in Texas. Would they ever come out here to Cali?
Probably
ever
not.
want to? No,
like
yeah.
they're like older now.
They've
Yeah.
been in Texas for a long time.
Yeah. Like they've been there for a minute. My siblings are still there.
Like planted, you know?
Yeah, like I feel like they rooted
Their
themselves
family's
there.
there.
And
Yeah.
they're very like they're not the type of people that are like, oh, like let's get a new house, let's get a new this,
my
let's get a new
family
that.
either,
Like they're
honey.
very until
Abs-
it dies and falls apart.
That
That's when
is
like let's get a new
my
car.
Family,
Like
I cannot.
You were just telling me about this.
They're running
how it
down
is.
to the
Tell 'em
ground.
People do.
Like they don't leave.
They don't leave.
They
They
don't
don't change things up. Like no, none of that. None of that business.
I
Like,
remember you telling me like it was like you had like you knew someone that like got the job when they were 18 and like has been there for like 20 years.
that would be Tyler's mom. She got a job at an insurance company whenever she was
Mm-hmm.
18 years old, and she retired in February.
at the same.
She
at the
never
same
changed
place.
jobs.
Never changed.
And she's in her late 50s, I believe now. She never switched, did another job, just
Period.
one job. And
That's what America uses as like an example.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
all these fucking Gen Zs and millennials
Yeah.
quitting after 2-3 years.
Yeah.
I'm like, look at Tyler's mom.
Look what it could be.
Yes.
It's true.
I've done switched jobs 16 times.
Same.
Oh, I've switched it way too many times too.
It's literally
Like,
same.
I was never retiring. I
Have
was
y'all
going.
seen that trend on TikTok? It's like this guy, and he pretends to be Dora, and it's like backpack,
Yes,
and he
I
just
love
sticks
him.
things into his backpack,
Backpack.
and it's been him saying collecting all my W-2s because I can't keep a
Bitch,
job. It's like
yeah,
backpack.
That was me. At the end of every year.
Having multiple in a year, you're like, okay, where did I work at this year?
True.
I'm like, period.
I feel like I was so young and I had so much to learn, and I was just like, I don't like this, I'm out. I don't like
Yeah.
this, next job, you know. And I was always trying to figure out something new until I figured out what stuck.
yeah,
I know,
absolutely.
it's so insane. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's how it is.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
Okay, well, I was gonna say is so like, we were talking about your family. How are they like when you came out of the closet?
They were One was cool and one wasn't as cool.
Okay,
like
got it,
my
got
mom
it.
was cool because
Yeah.
she kind of grew up with gay cousins.
Okay, so she had like experience.
like in Mexico, like she had two cousins who were like, I don't think they were out at the time, but they were
she
brothers.
knew.
And I think
Yeah.
everybody kind of knew.
Okay.
It's like
So-
don't ask, don't tell. Like we know.
Yes. And like we come from a Catholic background, so that's
Okay.
already kind of like real religious
An
and
extra.
strict.
An extra strike against you.
Yes,
Yeah.
but she kind of was like, okay, like this is what gay people are. She wasn't like creeped out by it. She was around
That's
it.
kind of amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, very grateful for that.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't have that experience.
Exactly.
Like, even in my own high school, like I remember going with another classmate and his mom was totally against it that he wasn't even really allowed to come out. Like we knew, like his
How
really close friends in like high school knew, but he wasn't really allowed to like claim it and say it. Like
Yeah.
on MySpace,
He
I
had
was
to
that gay
hide
guy from
it.
MySpace. That was my handle. That
Wait,
guy
what
from
was it? What was
MySpace.
it?
What
That
was
gay
it?
guy from MySpace.
Oh my god. I'm
Yeah.
dead.
Girls like this.
I'm like, I've always been gay. I came out
I love
in
it.
8th grade. Yeah, I fully
Okay,
came out
yeah.
in 8th grade. Came out to my cousin for the first time. Then a couple friends in middle school. Then my aunt, and then eventually my mom. And I just remember the car ride. I was just
Yeah.
like, oh, I should come out to her.
You're like,
You- what
this
did
is,
you
it
just
struck you.
feel
It
it?
just
You're
struck
just
you.
Yeah, I
like,
was
the
like,
time's
this is
right.
the time. And I was like,
You'd warmed
so I
up
want
too
to tell
by
you
telling a few
something. And she's
people.
like, okay. And I told her I was bi because that's like the first
That's
way
me.
That's
to
That
come
was
out.
me as well.
Yeah.
It's the
Yeah.
gateway.
Yeah, it's like the gateway.
It's literally the gateway.
Yeah, it's just like a stop, or it's a rest stop over to
yes,
Gay Town.
Yeah.
yes.
And
You're easing them in.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
But my mom basically being like real optimistic, and she's like, well, you know, like we were talking about it, and she's like, but you know, like you can still end up with a girl.
Yeah, it can happen.
And I was like,
Yeah.
You're like, this is
no,
gonna
I'm
go.
gay. Like I was
I
like,
changed
oh no,
my
I'm
bi
gay.
to gay.
Literally,
Hold
I was
on.
like,
I gotta clear this up real quick.
I don't like that. Let's clear it up right
We're
now before
crossing
any
the
more
line right
miscommunication
out.
happens.
He said, I
I'm
tried
gay.
with you.
I tried.
I tried.
to let
And
you
you
know.
didn't say what I needed to hear.
So let me like ride it on home.
No more space to move. Let me really define this for you.
No, yes.
All right.
Yeah. So, and she was like, oh, okay.
Oh my God.
And like she kind of already knew.
Yeah,
Like, I was like,
Parents
thought I was
know
so
their
cool.
kids, whether they want to admit it or
They
not.
know.
Like your
Yes,
mom
they know.
knew.
They
She
know.
knew you. She
They
knew
know.
her son.
Like
yeah.
they fully knew. Like sometimes even I know, I'm like, oh, that kid gay.
Yeah.
I like told him, I was like, oh, I know that he's gonna grow up.
I'm like,
for
oh,
sure.
I remember that. Like that was me.
Are you
That-
guys,
yeah, I was like,
are
I
you guys
know.
talking about Shawn Mendes?
Aw,
What
bless,
happened?
Bless her heart.
Did something
I'm kidding. No,
happen?
nothing happened. I'm just kidding. Just like with Sean, like, I wonder which, like, I do wonder with Sean.
There's so many. I mean, there's so many
There's
celebs
so
that are
many.
like low key and down low.
Yeah,
and
or,
just
like,
They
you hear all
have
these
it-
like stories behind the scenes.
the
of, like,
game of
people.
Hollywood is a completely different game that
It is.
you have to sometimes portray a certain thing.
Uh-huh.
So a lot of men,
Mm-hmm.
maybe they're not even gay, but they just like
Like the teeter.
stimulation.
Yeah, they like to like get like the teeter totter on like.
Yeah.
They're not so like harsh with like black and white, gay,
Yeah.
and
Especially in
straight.
Hollywood when
Yeah,
you can
it's very
try
fluid.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very free here.
Yeah, it's a lot more free.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of people feel less judgment, but when it goes to the public eye, it's like, oh, you're going to be getting judged immediately.
Because you get judged by middle America.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's not the coasts that you're just getting judged by, where it's a little bit more
Yeah.
liberal, a little bit more open.
Yeah.
It's like you have to all of it, and then the world on top of it. Because obviously, being in California, LA, I forget sometimes how lucky I
bubble.
am as like a gay
It's a bubble
person
here.
to
No,
be
it's a full
in
bubble.
California and
It's a
in Los
safe
Angeles.
bubble.
It's safe.
It's a bubble.
A lot safer than like let's say
It's a
any.
bubble.
It's a.
It's a
A bubble bath.
A
What's
bubble
that
bath.
from? Why do I know
From
that?
open
A
mouth.
bubble
Wait, is
bath.
it open mouth?
Big mouth.
Big mouth. Big mouth.
Bath.
A bubble bath.
What are you doing?
Connie. That's Connie. A bubble bear.
Bubble bath.
I love the
love
woman
that.
that does her voice. If you look her up,
I
she's
bet it was
from
Maya
SNL.
Angelou. No, not Maya Angelou.
Maya
Rudolph. Maya Rudolph. The cage
dead ass was like-
bird sings.
Maya.
The cage bird.
I was
Sorry,
like,
Maya.
Maya, my bad girl.
There's
Maya, my
like
bad
6
girl.
different ways. Wait, this is us like butterfly in the sky.
Oh, good
Our
one.
heads. La la.
What Maya?
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Okay, when I cut you off earlier, what were you gonna say?
I
You're
was
gonna say something.
I was gonna say name something that LA's taught you or changed your mindset on or just something in that genre.
Bitches be fake. No.
No, our actual face, like
That's the
What
trailer.
was this?
our title, the title of the episode.
Bitches be fake.
Oh my gosh.
What's one thing LA taught me?
I feel like
It's not that like bitches are fake. It's just that, and I think you get this, Laura, from the South. Like, we just approach things very differently. And people in LA, because it's such a melting pot of many different areas and places and people, you can't be that nice.
yeah.
You can't be that nice
Yeah.
in this city. And it doesn't mean like stop being nice. It just means, I think that's what it taught me. It taught me how to guard myself. It taught me how to
Boundaries.
like boundaries. And I think in the South and in our culture, like being selfish is frowned upon. And then in the South, you have to be extremely polite to everybody. And as a man, like
Southern
I have to hold the
hospitality.
door open for women
Yeah.
and like all these things. So it's like I would overextend myself, not only because of where I was born, but who I was born with. So I would overextend. My mom was like, always be nice, always da 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 da.
Yeah.
And like it like can really like it's too heavy on your shoulders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I
in a
think
way.
LA really taught me, which I'm grateful for, is how to set boundaries
Oh, yeah.
and how to understand what boundaries actually work for me.
Yeah.
And like, oh, this doesn't work for me, so I need to put up a boundary here.
Yeah.
And it taught me like how to also like filter friends.
Oh,
Because it's
yeah.
like a person who doesn't
100%.
like a boundary is a person who took advantage of you not having any.
That was one of my biggest lessons in
100%.
LA was in Alabama, it was like you hang out with a person, they're cool, then that's your friend. And like
Yes.
kind of like everybody's
If
friend.
you've been in their home, I'm
Yeah,
like,
you're-
oh,
if you've
okay.
been in their home, you're good friends.
It's like,
Oh,
okay,
okay.
like we're cool.
For sure.
Yeah.
And then in LA, it's like definitely not the fucking case.
No.
Okay?
You're an
acquaintance at
You're an
best.
acquaintance at best, even if you've hung out with people multiple times. I swear to God.
Yeah.
It's really strange out here. It just is.
Mm-hmm.
It's a different, and I had to learn that the hard way. Like, not everybody's your bestie, not everybody's your friend. You know, it's cool to keep.
There's a lot of egos.
Oh my
Like
gosh.
recently, I was at A-list celebrity's home. She goes way back.
Who was it?
I'm not gonna say because I don't want somebody in her DMs. I'll tell y'all after.
Okay, tell us after.
But basically, I ended up at her home, right? And she's iconic. She's iconic. But like, these people have such egos, and when you've been famous your entire life, like fame in and of itself is a trauma. It's
Yeah.
already been studied that it really freezes you at a certain mindset.
100%.
Definitely.
And when you only grow up around that, I can only imagine what your perception of to what reality is
Yeah.
when all you hear is yes, and people make so much money off of you and like all these things. I get it. I'm not gonna like hold a grudge that somebody was rude to me because they're a celebrity and they don't know any better.
Right.
You know? But I was in their home, and like at one point, this bitch had the fucking audacity, but it was so iconic because like I love her. And we were talking about something, and we were like playing this game, and she was like, "Oh, my tailbone," and I was like, "Oh, like what's wrong?" She's like, "Oh, when you've been in the industry for like over 10 years, and you're just sitting down like glam and like." Oh, my tailbone. And I was like, oh, I mean, I can only imagine. Like, I'd be at a computer for like 6 hours. I can only imagine. And she's like, what do you do? Oh, bitch. I have never in my entire life felt so powerful simply because I ran through the entire conversation of possibilities that could happen,
Yes.
all within a second,
Yeah.
judged everything,
Yeah.
assessed the situation, said, I'm not going to have that slick mouth that I always do. Because I've
You
been
wanted
conditioned to
to.
always fight.
Want to.
Yeah.
Like from a
Right,
very
right,
young
right.
age, as the oldest, translating everything, fighting for my parents, fighting for my siblings,
Yep.
fighting for my
Yeah.
family. I'm always ready to fight, and I through therapy I've understood that I don't always have to be like that. But I stopped myself. And luckily somebody was like coming into the group again. And they're like, oh, like he does this, this and that. Like he does makeup on the internet. She's like, but like, what do you mean you sit down for a long period? And I'm like, so basically when I do a video, I sit down for 3 hours.
I'd be like, are we in
Yeah. And
I'm
competition?
filming-
on his
Yeah, it's like
system?
sitting down,
That's
like, I'm
so
getting it.
weird.
She was so mad because I think she was also like kind of holding a like, I don't know what the word is, but like we were playing a board game and I was like winning.
Uh-oh.
So she was a little
Uh-oh.
mad.
She was competitive.
Yeah, she was competitive. So she was already like had
not
some
used to
animosity or some
losing.
shit.
It was already the
from
extra.
just that. And I'm like, okay. And then she kind of just like, oh, okay. Like once I explained it, I was like, I'm at a desk for like sometimes 3 hours thinking of a look, conceptualizing,
That's so
filming it,
odd.
like doing it. Sometimes I'm just little Liddy, so I take my time.
Yeah.
Then I have to go edit it on a computer. I have this, like, I'm a one-man show.
Yeah.
I'm
Right.
not you, girl. I don't have like multi-millions
A team of
or
20.
giant corporation
Yeah.
You run
behind me.
everything.
Yeah. So I'm
Yeah.
like, so I have to like understand these egos. Like I have to like, that's why LA is very interesting.
Mm-hmm. It
Like,
is.
it's
You
wild.
never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah,
with
but I
people.
knew I can't be a bitch to her.
Right.
Because
Right.
she's super famous and super powerful.
Maybe that's part
Right.
of the problem.
Yeah, so I was like, I stood my ground, but I wasn't as slick as I wanted to.
That's
Yeah,
good though.
but I think that's really, really good.
I mean, that's like such
Yeah.
a mature thing to do and like
I
way
think
to
that's what
handle
boundaries
it.
are.
That is.
That's literally like you like learning boundaries for yourself too. It's like
Yeah, 'cause
I'm not
I'm
gonna
like,
let you walk
I'm in
all
her
over
home.
me. Yeah, but I'm
Yeah,
not.
I'm like,
gonna
I'm not gonna be
either.
rude in your own home.
Exactly, but I'm not gonna let you walk all over me.
But
either.
like,
You're not gonna be
It's that
disrespectful.
little, it's like that weird little like kind of fine line. Like you like, I feel like you find it though a lot in LA. Like you find like that's that in you because you're around so many different types of people that and everyone like wants something.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to
Yeah.
do something. Everyone has like this like drive, this passion out in LA. Like a lot of people like that are in LA aren't from LA. A lot of
Yeah.
people are like, oh, I'm here from this place. It is a
Yeah.
melting pot. So it's like
It
you kind of
is.
learn all
Everybody
these like,
with big
different
dreams.
facets. Yeah, everyone has huge dreams.
And not everyone's a good person.
See, that's the issue.
Bitch,
And there are
and you-
different
and-
ways to
oof.
get your dreams.
Accurate.
You know what I mean?
And some people are a little more desperate with it. And some
Yeah.
people are extremely passive.
like
Like,
the guy with the picture.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's exactly what because I was like, I'm not going to be rude to you, but I'm going to set my own boundary.
Yeah, like
And be
that.
like,
That's
I'm
literally
not-
setting a boundary. With
I was
him.
like, I'm not interested in this, but I said, but I appreciate you reaching out,
yeah.
yeah,
and that was
nice.
it. And like I kept it moving.
keep it respectful.
I'm respectful,
Yeah.
but I'm not gonna like let
I
you.
feel like I have trust
walk over me.
issues in LA.
Oh, I do too.
Oh,
I think I have like
100%.
major trust issues and like it's not that it's like I am so cool hanging out with people, but I'm not trying to get like that close anymore
Mm-hmm.
because like I'm just not interested in any road that leads to drama. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's
Mm-hmm.
like if I'm happy, I'm satisfied, and we can have a great friendship, not hanging out every day, knowing everything about each other. Let's do that.
Yes.
Especially because I'm older now. I'm in my 30s. So I'm like, I'm spending even more time at home. But I realize too, I'm stronger whenever I spend more time with myself. So,
Absolutely.
like,
Yeah,
you
because
get,
you focus on yourself.
yeah, I'm focusing on myself, minding my
Mm-hmm.
business. And whenever you're with someone else all the time, you're going to be in their business. And I don't want to be in anyone's
Yeah.
business. I don't want your
Yeah.
business.
I mind the business that pays
People
me.
are crazy.
Don't expect me in anybody else's.
Yeah,
the business of
it's true.
Yes, your
Nah.
own business. So.
I'm a reformed, problematic influencer, and
She's
I've learned.
reformed.
I've learned. I've learned from my ways.
She's learned. Come on, Righteous Gemstone.
And I'm here to preach
Jenny,
the new life of influencers in the beauty
I'm
community.
so dead. You with the Bible like this, just like
I
uh-huh.
have learned. Judy, that's what
Judy, I
I'm
can remember you like Judy. Have you ever seen Righteous Gemstones?
No.
Gabriel.
You have to watch it.
Gabby.
Is that the one with Adam Sandler?
No.
No,
Okay.
it's on HBO Max.
Oh, that's Uncut Gems.
That's
I hate that reference
So
too.
close,
That was
so
not
close.
a reference
That was
intentional. I
not.
hate that reference.
That was
okay,
very close.
I need you to watch this because I know your sense of humor.
You'll love it.
And I know
Okay.
what you're going to think is funny.
I agree.
You'll be obsessed with Righteous Gemstones and Danny McBride. You know Danny McBride?
Yes.
Okay. He wrote, it's his show.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Main character. And then he also wrote Vice Principal. So there's only 2 seasons, Vice Principals, but it's on HBO as well.
Okay.
Watch it.
I think you'll
Okay,
love
I'm
it too.
down.
Like,
I watched
you're
it
going to
all.
laugh your ass off. I know
Really?
you will.
And then
Okay,
send
I
us a
know
group
you
text
will.
after it.
I've
I just
actually
watched the
had
first
mul-
episode.
I'll play by play.
I've had multiple people tweet me from the podcast because
Dude,
I
me
recommend it. They're
too.
like, dude, we watched Righteous Gemstones. Best show.
DMs too, like
Okay.
DMs, tweets all about it. Like, oh my god, you
I
should
think there's only
recommend more
2
shit.
seasons though.
Okay, I'm still down.
But yeah,
You
it's so
have
good.
to
You're gonna
watch it.
laugh. You're
Really?
especially being from Texas. Aren't they in Texas?
I think they're. Oh my god, I think they are in Texas actually.
Oh,
You're gonna die.
They're in the south. They're in the south and like that area.
It's a play on Joel Osteen, essentially. Like
That's
it's-
Houston.
Okay, so
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like
Joel Osteen lives in
essentially People,
Houston.
these preachers that are multi millionaires and like
Mm-hmm. That's
total
the best
live a
scam.
whole. It's a scam.
It's
If I
scam.
didn't do like, I either want to go into government, religion, or funeral homes.
That's it.
Like, you will always get
Once you get-
people.
Yes.
You will always get
Yeah.
money. Like, you will
It's
always.
people at a vulnerable state.
Did you hear that Kris Jenner has a church?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Is that like? Do you think
It's
that's
like a shopping mall church, which Gemstones plays on those too. Like
It's like a tax
Is it like a tax
situation
haven
as
thing?
Yeah,
well.
it is.
It's like a tax
Do you think it's
haven.
almost like a low key,
tax
like a little
deduction.
funneling
Because you
situation?
can't like
well,
I don't know.
I
That's
mean,
not
there's a
wash-
few
that's
people
not
who
washing
do it.
money, technically, right?
no, because
What does that
she's
mean?
not making money illegally.
Okay, got it.
So she doesn't
No, right,
need
right.
to wash it
Yeah,
through the
it's-
government to tax it. She doesn't
Yeah.
need to do that. Her
Got
money's
it.
being taxed either
So
way. It's a
basically,
write-off.
like, let's
Write
say
off.
I
Got it.
donate 100,000, so I then get to write that off.
Got
But
it.
the church doesn't pay taxes on it.
So
On
it's
that
a-
100,000.
So they
it's a
get to
win-win.
just have it there.
It's a
win-win.
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 That's
Got
that's
it.
where I want to get. Like
Yeah.
my goal in marriage is either a plastic surgeon or like a tax fucking wizard. Because I want to
Yeah.
know
So an
how
account-
Donald
a high of
Trump,
a accountant.
or like like a motherfucker that just knows the law and
Yeah.
numbers. Because I'm like, how did Donald Trump not pay any taxes the year before he was president? I don't care what he did.
Yeah.
Right,
I
no,
want to do that.
I like to get
I
there.
want to do that. Okay,
But how
it's
did
not
it
my
happen?
job
I
to
thought this
fix that.
conversation was going to
Yeah, 180.
It is not my job to fix that. It is my job
It's
to
not
take
your job to
advantage
fix
of that.
that. Yeah.
But like,
It's
how,
not
but
your
literally,
job
how
to
did
fix
that happen?
Exactly, and I just want to know. And maybe I just gotta sleep with somebody.
people
and
want to know.
They'll
The
take
people
care of
wanna
it.
know, and they'll do it all for you.
And once I get that man, I'm gonna disappear off the internet.
You'll never see me
Damn,
again.
what
So
happened
if
to
you never see
Gabriel?
Gabriel, I'm gonna be like, I know what happened.
He got married.
He found
You
that
just see
accountant.
like far paparazzi photos of me in Dubai, riding like
A
albino
lift for
camels,
every fry.
Maybachs on each side.
You're not to hear.
He's like this.
He's
I'm
a whisper
obsessed.
in the literal sand and wind.
I'm literally
I love that.
obsessed.
Love
I'm
that for me.
obsessed
With
too.
my $1 billion.
Yeah, you're tax free.
I told you, it's tax free.
I love that. And wait, so, and like I want to like also close this off too with like the fact that you have your own podcast as well.
Oh yeah.
Let's talk about Blunt
We have
Talk.
to talk about Blunt Talk.
So we're
the
actually,
girls.
this is where I wanted to say it because I'm finally like in the works of like rebranding it. So I had to rebrand it.
work. Wait, you
I had to change
rebrand
the
it?
name because it wasn't family friendly.
You'll get
Fuckers.
flagged
You'll get
left
flagged for
and
that shit.
right.
Totally, totally.
Left and
And
right.
right.
I
Even
was
though the
like,
play on words is truly chef's
but they
kiss.
all knew. Everybody
course.
knows. It's not even
Everyone
like a
knows.
double entendre. Like, is he talking about weed? It's just like, you're talking about
No, you
weed,
are.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm like,
You're like, wait.
and I can't lie.
You're like, how
Right,
do
no,
you
so in
know?
a family-friendly company,
Yeah.
I'm not going to say their name because I want them to come back.
Yeah. You want to sponsor me? Yes.
And they're like, oh, is this weed related? And I can't say no when I'm
Right.
clearly blasted for every episode. So
You
now
have, like, red
I can actually
smiles.
say
What
the
are you
name. It's
talking
just
about?
called Gabriel's Podcast.
Gabriel's
Love
I already got the name.
Perfect.
I got it all. It's just
Honey.
called Gabriel's Podcast. I wanted like a funny name. So it's the same concept.
Yeah.
It's just me sitting on there, like being litty, everyone,
Yeah.
having conversations with people, or just talking to me and the voices in my head.
I love it.
You know? And it's really fun. I talk about many different things
Mm-hmm.
where I just sit there in my office and I'm like, okay, what do I want to talk about? And I'll just make a list.
I
and,
love that.
And I just get lit and I make a list. And do I go
So
through all of
you do
them?
too.
No.
No.
No. Literally
Not always.
never.
Not always,
wait,
okay?
where can you listen to Gabriel's podcast?
You can listen to it everywhere you can listen to podcasts, on iTunes, on Spotify, on
Apple
Google,
Podcasts.
on Amazon,
Mm-hmm.
everywhere you can.
Wow.
And then I'm also going to start making YouTube videos on it because I want,
I love
they needed
that.
to be brand friendly
Yes.
to be on my
Yes.
main one.
They're just gonna
Yes.
flag
Because I'm
it if
like,
not.
it's a one-man show here. I'm not trying to do 2 YouTube channels
So
and like all
much.
this. And
Yeah.
I'm like, you bitches get it on my main channel,
Yeah.
okay?
It can,
Yeah.
But it has to
turn
be
into
brand
that.
friendly.
For
Yes,
sure.
and
So
it
I
can
was
turn
like-
into that too.
I like being brand friendly.
That's
That
the
money's
rule
a
with
lot
YouTube.
nicer, okay?
100%.
That money is a lot nicer, you guys. and
It's hard.
you have to understand, okay,
Yeah.
I'm still me, but like, I like money.
But also, like, let's also be like, realistic too. Like,
That's
it's like
the
the
most
first 2
honest
minutes
thing
you have
I've
to be
ever
extra.
heard a YouTuber say.
Yes. I'm like, don't be
True.
mad. Like, I am a double marginalized individual. Like, don't put it on me
Yeah.
to save the world, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm just
You're
trying to
just you.
survive.
Me. I
Tyler's like,
love
at
that.
one point in the podcast, it was just,
Yeah, it's gonna literally be like brought down like this on like the in the edits. Be like, just, I love
Okay,
it.
wait. When am I coming on Gabriel's podcast? Manny's
been
been
on.
on.
yeah, Manny's been on.
I
That was
have not
really
been
fun.
on.
It was
You're
really great.
You're gonna be on.
Thank you.
And we're gonna be talking all about cats. That's the whole episode. It's
No,
just cat
literally.
I don't want to
stuff.
talk about cats at all here then.
Yeah.
We
Because
can't.
it's
We
all
got a
cat
lot
stuff.
to talk
Oh,
about.
cat stuff. The only reason why I have a cat is because of Laura.
It is. Me and
It's
Gabriel,
true. You guys will literally say each other.
our
cat
only
ladies.
line of communication is sending cat TikToks back and forth, back and forth. Like back and forth.
Let me just say, Gabriel's the funniest person to like send TikTok DMs to. Like, just sending because I'll send him like, let's say like 4 in a row. He'll send me 5 in a row, and like I'll try to go through every single one, and then I'm like responding to them all, and then he sends me another 10, and I'm like, fuck, I didn't get the first
ooh.
response.
I like look at TikToks as like I'm like berry picking. I'm like, oh, Manny will find this one.
Me too.
Let me send it to
too.
you.
Laura,
Cat
like,
one for Laura. And then I send them to my mom. I send her
so
like the
true.
Spanish one.
Yes,
It's like, I
yes.
send my sisters like the trauma ones. And And I'm like, oh my God, this is why we're like this, yo.
yes, no, 100%.
That's
Like you have like your
amazing.
certain content that you send to
Yeah,
everyone
but you be
else.
finding some funny shit on
You
there.
do.
I
Your
do find
FYQ
funny
is
shit.
good.
I mean, like the content I know is going to be A grade. Like I'm not going to want to skip it whenever you send me one. I try to
Yeah.
find
Same.
funny shit for you too, or something like I know that will make you laugh. Like I'm like, this will make Abigail laugh.
My sister sends me the weirdest shit. We have this thing where
That's
we just send each
Erin.
other weird shit. Like you don't know where the video's going. That's what she likes. So that's when I come across it, I'm like, what the fuck was this? Oh, let me send it to my sister.
You're like, that's gonna be the perfect content for her.
Yeah.
She'll
I
love
love
it.
TikTok.
So funny. I do. Honestly, I love where it's
an
gone too. Like,
addiction.
I'm like, I love it, and I love like putting like more time into energy into TikTok too.
I
That's what I
upload
do now.
almost every day on there. Like
It's my new obsession. Like
But you know what it is about it? I don't give a shit what I upload on there. I'm not like,
Yes.
Same. There's less judgment for
needs
it.
to be so edited and
Same.
face tuned and all perfect. It's like I'm fucked
I
up.
still use the beauty
Yes.
filter because although I'm stunning,
I'm
I
like-
can
There's
always
moments.
look
Hold on,
prettier.
I'm like
There's
watching
moments.
TikTok.
During the video, at one point we're just like
Not even talking
For
to
like 20 minutes.
sending
of
each other.
it.
I like the one you
Oh,
just
that
sent
was
me.
funny.
that was good. That was good.
That sounds very realistic.
But it's true. I feel like with TikTok, it's like I feel like so much less pressure.
There's no pressure.
On
for
the
Well, I
me.
think the
platform.
conversation of like social media expectations has changed when it comes to
Yeah.
like this perfect look, the-
Facade.
almost the Instagram look.
The Instagram
Baby.
culture
That's what
we're running
is
away
fading
from.
out.
Yeah, it's
Instagram
gone.
culture
That flex
is dying.
culture,
The
that
flex
overly
culture.
filtered culture.
It's
like
the persona of the
Yes.
perfect life and like the aesthetic and all that. It is filtering out and it shows.
Thank
and
God.
I think TikTok
It
is like a
shows.
big part of why.
Yeah,
Authenticity.
it shows.
Authenticity.
is so much better on there. And
Yeah.
I think that's one of the things that sometimes annoys me when like super famous celebrities that have made careers off of just being like a celebrity, somebody who is not relatable and not and like completely unattainable, all of a sudden are relatable.
Yeah.
Right.
Doing the Julia Fox audio of like,
Yeah.
oh, Job Stop Teeth Me. Like
Yeah.
Cara Delevingne, like you've modeled for Chanel. You've walked in Chanel. You've lived a luxurious life. You have
Right.
eyebrows. Okay, you are
Eyebrows.
not
Have
relatable.
eyebrows.
Born
Yeah,
with
that's
those
number
eyebrows.
one.
You are not
Your
relatable.
Brows is the number one.
Yes,
Yeah.
like I'm like no, like be who you are, but like a lot, like that's what I like about TikTok. Like you can tell who's actually being authentic,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
who's faking it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like who's faking this authenticity of like, oh, like look at me, like being authentic, and it's like, girl,
Do I
nobody
notice
does that.
on TikTok too? I feel like if a sound goes viral from something, like the person that it came from,
They didn't even know.
they had no idea what was going viral, had no idea what was going on. They somehow created TikTok because their sound was going viral.
Yeah. They're
Have
like,
you noticed that?
They're like, I'm here.
It's like a sound from like a show 10 years
Yeah.
ago,
Yeah.
and suddenly like they're using that sound because it's like, oh my god, it's so iconic, and it's sickening.
It's because
but
their
like,
publicist told them to.
They're literally like, make a TikTok.
Their
now,
agent
do it.
or their
Absolutely.
publicist told
Yeah,
them
and
what's
honestly, it's a
going on.
smart
That's how
thing
that
to
kind
do.
of stuff works. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's smart. It's like
It's
not
like
smart, but I noticed
It's like
that.
hitting an oil
Oh
thing.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
hitting oil and
You
like
notice
digging,
it.
like fracking and
It's
finding
literally
oil.
fracking.
You
Yeah.
know what? I've always like being in beauty. I've always had like a sense of humor, I'd say, and always on my channel, like it's never been that serious to me
Yeah.
compared to
Remember
a
our
lot of
skits?
people. Do you see what I'm saying? Like at the peak of
Yeah.
my beauty career, I would say I was doing skits, like
Literally. Halloween skits.
Like that's what I like to do. But
You
I
guys
feel
remember
like
those?
okay, literally.
They're fucking iconic.
Everybody still wants us
period.
to do them, and I'm like, but no one can laugh anymore. Like, you
And
can't-
nobody
like,
likes each other.
Yeah, no one likes each other. And
no
no
one
one's
likes
gonna
each
like
other.
have
It's
fun
like
with it.
people will be pissed, and before everybody thought that shit was funny and would text us and be like, "Bitch, can do me next year? Do
Yes,
me
I remember
next
like,
year."
oh my god, do me.
Like people be fighting for us to do them.
I feel like we should do it.
Honestly, yes.
Like it would be fun. Like for
It'd
a
be
new one.
So
But
you could be
fucking
Michaela.
funny. I'll be Michaela.
Michaela.
You could be Michaela.
I can totally be Michaela.
Yeah, we could all be
100%.
like, because I feel like I love the beauty community because
Yeah.
I feel like it's changed.
Yeah.
It's
Like
gone.
it was,
good
it was a
way.
trajectory for a shit show.
A
It was
hard-
a burning
a hard
train
tra- a hard
about to
trajectory.
fall off a cliff, and
Yeah.
we're like,
Totally. I'm just going down like this. No,
as we're
literally.
putting coals into it, like making it go
All
faster.
of us.
No. A masochist. Masochists.
And I feel like it really just like it like
It, like,
crashed and burned,
it
but like
humbled itself.
it like regrew
Yeah.
into something else.
It's like a phoenix.
yes,
I love it.
it's
Rising
like a
from the
phoenix.
ashes.
Yeah.
Literally.
Rising from the
I
ashes.
like
literally.
it more now than I ever have.
Same.
Because I feel like it's a large party.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's not just like this
select
small group
couple.
where everybody's looking at these people and they're just such like I remember
Yeah.
I was part of those people who were like
I
the
was-
representation of like
totally.
oh you're being messy, but it's like no this is just a subsidy
Yeah.
of the beauty community, but we were such a prevalent part of it. Now it's like you could be messy, you could not be messy, you could just be on TikTok
There's
and
so
like
many different
there's
things.
so many
It's
divisions
so
and I
free
love
now.
it.
It's so free
I
now.
love
Facets
it.
this time.
It's a good spot. So
So yeah,
completely
if you want to
agree.
start a YouTube channel,
Girl,
all about makeup,
what are
do
you
it
waiting
now.
on?
Oh my
What
God.
are you waiting on?
Yeah.
This is your sign.
Actually, do
Yeah.
a TikTok. Start on TikTok.
Start on
TikTok's gonna blow you up way faster than
way
YouTube. I promise
faster
you
than
that.
any other.
I promise you that
I
over
love
any
TikTok.
platform.
over any platform, especially over Instagram.
Oh,
Girl.
literally it goes TikTok then YouTube.
Just delete your Instagram. Just delete it.
Don't even have
Honestly,
it.
even make
a
one.
lot of people are. A lot of people are.
100%.
I hate that platform.
It's the worst.
And I'm so happy
Everyone
it's dying.
does.
It's the worst.
So happy it's dying.
It's the new Facebook, but
It's low-key, it's kinda
it
like
is.
Facebook.
It is. But that's it for this
That's it.
episode.
Period.
Thank you so much for coming on the episode.
Thank you for having me.
We had so much fun.
I had so much fun. Can I just say, like, even like just to end off, like, I'm very proud of like us all getting to this spot, like to be able to film a podcast together. Just in general, with like all of our histories and stuff like that, it's like really cool to me.
Yeah.
Like just in general, to be like, oh, like that makes me feel like
It's
proud.
fun for the girlies, the OG girlies
yeah,
of
for
the
the
beauty
OG
community.
girlies. And for the OG girlies. You're like, no, we're
I don't know
not.
if we look alike.
It's like twins.
Me and Gabriel look more like you.
No, literally. Anyways, you guys, we'll leave, of course, all of Gabriel's information down below. Check it out. Don't forget to subscribe, everything. We love you guys so much, and we'll see you guys in next week's episode. Bye.
Bye, everyone.